pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have anybody registered as a mark of visitors tonight?
No, sir.
So we'll dispense with item 3 and go right to item 4. Discussion and possible action on a preliminary site plan and exterior finish submitted by Wildflower Meat and Beer Company, aka Jeff Murray, for the redevelopment of a retail bar restaurant use for the property located at 221 South Railroad Street, Navasota, Grimes County, Texas, 77868. The proposed uses are listed as permitted uses within Article XII CBD Central Business District. The property affected is legally described as H and TC Block 97, Lot 7-10.
Mr. Chairman, Planning and Zoning Commission, just to give you a brief background of this item, at the May 11th regular Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, Planning and Zoning approved the preliminary site plan that's before you tonight. There was one contingency added. It was that the preliminary site plan was approved with a metallic exterior finish due to it being an existing renovation, and the only contingency was to ask Mr. Murray to bring it back tonight for the final approval of the finish. So tonight, primarily, the main ask is to consider approving or disapproving the finish. That's really what's on the table tonight. So in your staff report, you have a few samples of the product. Obviously, there's a link, but I can click on that link in the staff report to show you the website. But that picture is a really good illustration of what is being proposed. It's a corrugated product, and the finish, it'll naturally rust over time, so eventually it'll kind of have that leather look. And there's, like I said, there's a few samples in your staff report on how it looks. And Mr. Murray is here tonight if y'all have any questions specifically about the materials. And if y'all have anything else.
I have one question. You have two materials listed. You know, one is the corten and the other one is the cold rolled steel. What's the difference between the two of them, or like the application of each?
So they both look very similar to start out. So basically,
yeah, on these flags that we have, it's just like, man, you got to have a color wheel, but they look pretty damn close.
Don't even. I mean,
Sharps
coming,
okay.
and it's going
You
to.
can't even physically feel the difference between.
So what the difference is so they'll both be corrugated. I sent Lupe. I was telling Miss Dia earlier that the metal sales lady apparently has some kind of block in typing in Navasota into her FedEx shipping, so that's why I don't physically have it in my hand. So it's in Dallas. But anyway, so they're all going to be corrugated. It's all going to feel the same. It's all going to start out looking the same. So the difference between the cold rolled steel is it's the old school that doesn't have any kind of protective material on it, so it's going to rust through, which is what it used to look like way back in the day. It's what our skirting is out on the farm. Corten is a product that is new. I think it's probably some kind of trademarked product, but it has a finish on it. So it's a sealed material that has a finish on it that allows it to oxidize on the surface. So it's just a more durable, longer lasting product that's allowed to rust, as opposed to the cold rolled steel, which is gonna
That's
rust.
it.
Yeah.
It's a metal product, where the other one is a combination type product.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But otherwise, I mean, as you can see, they look exactly the same to start out. I think the way that it rusts quickly versus more slowly is going to look a little different, but otherwise it's basically...
And then the applications on the building?
They're between the two?
Right. I mean, we want to have cold roll on one spot.
Oh, no. I sent that because I offered those just as if you guys had any kind of strong feeling.
So it's going to be either or, but not both?
Correct. Yeah, there's no reason
Gotcha.
to use both. It's an either or. And my recommendation, my request, and even, working with the contractor is the Corten, just because it's more durable.
Gotcha.
And, of course, more expensive. That's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Jeff, I think I'm going to have my business cards done like this.
Man, yeah, seriously.
Be very memorable.
So this is probably a really dumb question, but how long are we looking at? I know we're at the mercy of the weather.
Lupe, can you put that link up? And it actually answers,
Yeah.
the website answers that exactly. It's in the matter of weeks that it starts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really quickly. Yeah, right there.
Surface rust.
That's expecting that there's some sort of moisture besides humidity, or just humidity?
No, I mean, yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's gotta get wet to oxidize. You need a little bit of,
Maybe.
you need a little bit of something.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I was in Austin, picking something up a couple weeks ago, and we were at a place that it's not the corrugated, but it's a flat version of this, and it was really interesting. Right next to each other, one was more exposed to the sun than one was more in the shade, and you could even see, it's a brand new building within, I don't know, 6 months probably, and you could even see the different weather pattern on it. So it'll be, south side of the building versus north side of the building, and then the west facing sun. West isn't really gonna get any, I guess it will up high, but, yeah, so it happens quickly, I guess. And then with the humidity here, it's certainly gonna be impacted by that. But to answer your question specifically, I don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
But it's not gonna stay that color,
No.
for sure.
Correct. Yeah, for sure.
I'll give these back to you, Jeff, in a minute. I'll put these in the official record. That's what we'll do. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The rest of the plans are identical to what we got the first time, correct?
I'm sorry?
The rest of the plans are identical to what we got the first time?
Yes, sir. Yep, everything exactly the same. So from what I'm hearing from Jeff, I think if a motion is going to be entertained, then the motion just needs to say court and finish. Is that fair, Jeff?
I'll make a motion that we approve, the exterior finish with a Corton.
I just want to, are we here to approve the finish or approve the site plan?
The finish. It's just that it's presented in site plan form, because that's the verbiage in the ordinance, but the site plan was already approved.
That was May
At May
11th, that
11th.
was before you came on.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just confused because if it's not new construction, then why are we approving the finish?
It's inside the,
The historical.
Yeah, it's installed, yeah, it's within the central business district.
And originally, there was a lot of discussion
Right.
on it because, the ordinance as written, includes brick.
It has to be a masonry structure.
Right, and
And
so,
so the foundation of the existing building would not allow structurally for the
Yeah.
support of a masonry structure. So with a lot of discussion, we went back and forth, on, aesthetics and are we gonna set a precedent, things like that about this. And then, the ordinance itself, says that it's for new construction. And this is an older building that was a warehouse that had corrugated metal on it at one time in the past before it got the R panels put on it now. And so, at least my opinion on it was that we're going back to a more historical thing of what it was anyway with a new function.
and there was a reformed lawyer here at that meeting that,
I think it's recovering is how he advertised.
recovering, okay, who, mentioned that the ordinance may need some attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want it to get convoluted. I thought, based on the last meeting, that it was determined it wasn't new construction.
Correct, and that's still the case.
Yeah.
So they approved the site plan in your packet contingent upon coming back in a future meeting and approving the finish. But it was established that it's an existing building, so some things in the ordinance weren't very clear, and so that's why we moved forward with that motion, and tonight it's just a finish.
So moving forward, are we gonna ask council to make changes to that ordinance so it's not as confusing?
That's us.
So we are going to be addressing, we discussed with our legal counsel this week, and we are going to have some more discussions about making that a little bit more detailed, so we're not put in this predicament again in the future. Yes.
Good thing to do.
And more than likely, that will probably have a joint meeting between council and P and Z, so we can have that discussion together.
Okay, sorry, I just
No,
wanted to.
no, you're
No,
good.
that's all right.
No.
You,
If
you,
it's not new, why are we
Yeah.
approving a finish when
Sure.
it's not new?
No, that was good
Well, you're at a
clarification.
disadvantage because, like I said, we went through that. It was a long, lengthy
Oh, I watched,
meeting.
I watched.
Oh, okay.
But that was all.
Any other questions?
I seconded.
We have a motion from Dr. Walla to approve the cordon material and a second from Commissioner Copeland. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Seeing none, motion carries. And that brings us to agenda item number 5, consideration and possible action on approval of the meeting minutes for July 13, 2023.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes as written.
Have a motion from Commissioner Copeland,
Second.
second from Commissioner Merchant. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Seeing none, motion carries. And that brings us to adjourn at 6:11 PM.